part of the fun things that we've added with you is that can Ian guess the final layout? And so we've been doing this 15, 16 times, 2,000 people every time. Like, it's huge. And I think in all that time, you were the only one that's ever gotten really close.
The big reveal's coming. The big reveal's coming.
The big reveal's coming.
Big reveal is coming.
There's a big reveal coming?
Morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Give us a second. We're switching screens around. All right. Hey, good morning. It's Thursday. It's 9:30. It's Cut and Cuts time. Good morning, everyone on Instagram and on Facebook and potentially on YouTube. There was a slight glitch this morning with our YouTube connection. So I hope if you're on YouTube, you can definitely see us and catch up. If not, this will be on YouTube. Nothing is ever deleted from the internet. And so you'll be able to catch it later. Good morning, everybody. It is April. It is spring. There was a day this past weekend in St. Louis. My kids had a track meet, and in a period of 20 minutes, we experienced 3 seasons. And so I guess that's what spring is in St. Louis. You just kind of get it all in a very consolidated fashion. So good morning. We are going to start our show. Good morning, Greta Sobel. Good morning, Sandy Tharp. We are going to start our show as we do every week with questions submitted. I know I am all American today. More on that in a second. We're going to start our show as we always do with questions that have been submitted by you guys. And so I love these questions. These are always so fun. I literally sit down in the papers here and I'm reading these for the first time. And so it's always fun. All right. So you'll go to cottoncuts.com/live to be submitted for next week. Oh my gosh, it's going to be 90 degrees, polished peak. That is hot. I am very sorry. Oof, okay. So Francis Quigley from Salem, Virginia. Thank you, Francis, for your question. How can I make interactive or sensory quilts for children? Okay, this is kind of one of my favorite questions because making quilts for children has like lots of different facets to it. And so one of the most popular children's quilts that people make is a hide and seek quilt. And so this one is really fun because you get to dumpster dive in your stash and you get to pull out and fussy cut. And it can be kind of like a quilted version of a children's book, how you put it together. And it can be a great way to learn basic vocabulary. It can be find the cat, find the dog, find the train. And so in that, it's finding fabrics that have basic vocabulary on them, stitching them together and being super creative with them. I am also, as we talked with Stephanie a couple days ago, I like panel quilts. And there's a lot of awesome alphabet panel quilts out there. And so you can get the cute animals that are, A is for this animal, B is for this animal, C is for this animal. And those are great ways to teach young children, toddler age to 6-ish, alphabets. And it's on the panel and they can point to it. I've also, for my own children, I've gotten a race car kind of panel and stitched it together, and they were able to run their toys and trucks along the panel. It was on the floor, and when we were done, we just rolled it up and put it away. A quilt that I saw and never was able to make, and it makes me kind of sad because my boys are, way too old for any of this stuff. But it was a hide and seek quilt where there were like envelope lids that you sewed onto it, and you would lift them up, and underneath it, so it was kind of a game of peekaboo. And you could also play it as a game of memory, where you would lift it up and be like, where's the cat? Where's the dog? And of course, it's 3-dimensional and kids like to play with it. There's also making quilts that have different types of ribbons. I know there's a lot of kids that like ribbons and like tags. And there was definitely a phase where sewing ribbons and tags onto quilts was a thing. I actually made one for one of my kids. It has all sorts of blue ribbons all around the outside of different textures, and it gets to feel and touch. Here in the shop, our super talented Dawn actually made a hide and seek quilt with, she merged in fabrics from previous PMQs. And so she has a ton of young, small grandchildren. And she made a hide and seek. And whenever she's babysitting her kids, that's what she brings out. And she gets to play with them when she's there. And it's awesome. All right. What do you guys think for interactive and sensory quilts for kids? There's lots of different things there to be done. I think, if you try them all, you could probably have 10 to 15 quilts for a single child. That's fantastic and great, and they will all be equally loved. But I would love to see what you guys think. I think kind of a secondary category is the whole weighted quilt category. We can talk about that at a future point in time. But interactive sensory, it's how do you see, feel, touch? How do you use it as memory? How do you use it as education? colors, the whole bit. All right. Thank you so much, Francis, for the question. That was awesome. All right, Robin Miller from Sanibel, Florida. It is, yeah, I was just going to say, it's probably hot in Florida. And guess what her question is? All right. Robin says, I live in a very hot and humid area in Florida. Yes, you do. Okay. I often wonder if this is a problem for my fabric. I have a huge stash that I love. Thoughts. Okay. So I am going to kind of wishy-washy answer this question and talk about fabric storage in general. So for fabric, you generally want to keep your fabric in cooler locations that are not too extreme temperatures, not too extreme humidity, and also away from light. And also another one, out of cardboard. A lot of people store fabric in cardboard. Cardboard actually is a dehydrant and takes moisture out of fabric and can cause it to be more brittle and age faster over time. So you usually want to store fabric in plastic, and it also protects it from animals. There's lots of reasons to store fabric in plastic. When it comes to living in a very hot and humid area, so for me, when I read this, as long as you're keeping your fabric inside your house, that's generally pretty temperature controlled, and it's generally pretty humidity controlled. If you're keeping it in a garage or a shed or outside, I would be super worried about it molding, mildewing, and aging too fast and becoming more brittle over time. Similarly, I grew up in Arizona. It's super dry, but very hot. And, we didn't really have big problems storing our fabric because we usually kept it inside our house where it was typically generally air conditioned. Surprisingly, opposite of this, we would have humidifiers in our house to make sure it wasn't too dry and too much static. But it's just general, as long as you keep it in kind of a living space, it's going to be okay. Once you start moving fabric out into the elements, it's really anyone's guess. And I think, I don't know, does anyone else have any suggestions on this that lives in extreme climates? For me, it's all about making sure it stays in a controlled environment if you want to keep it for an extended period of time, right? If you're just sewing this, if you're grabbing it and sewing it, then that's totally fine. But as long as you're keeping it kind of close to what you would be comfortable living in, you're generally going to be okay. Let's see here. So thank you, Robin, for the question. I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say as well. For those of you that live in Florida, for those of you that live in Arizona, how do you handle your fabric in a hot or a humid area? And of course, there's always a time element in that as well, guys. All right, good morning. Holy cow, there are so many people joining us. Good morning, everyone. All right, so if you have a question for a future show, cottoncuts.com/live, we'll answer it here. We'll crowdsource answers as we go as well. I love these questions. These are always so much fun. You never really know what sort of rabbit hole we're going to go down when we go through them. If you are watching us on YouTube and Facebook, don't forget to accept the permissions on StreamYard to make sure that that we can see your comments. So right now, we have a user who said that she had no idea about cardboard, storing fabric in cardboard, right? If you accept those permissions, we can definitely reply back to you and let you know. All right, let's see here. We are going to be giving away something like we do every week. This week, we're going to be giving away a free classic subscription. So our classic boxes ship next week. So all you have to do is stay to the end. We'll ask a question and you'll receive a free classic membership. So what's happening around Cotton Cuts this week? This week, we have a lot of stuff going on. It is crazy. The team is shifting gears and moving through lots of things pretty quickly. And so everyone is really gearing up towards our Carnival PMQ giveaway. Big reveal. And so I know we keep talking about this big reveal, big reveal, big reveal. And we've got a lot of people that have never been through it before. And so it might be a great idea just to take a few seconds here and explain what the big reveal is. And so Carnival is a PMQ that started last July. And so Clue 10 ships at the end of April, the last Friday in April. And so this is one of these things, we always do the live reveal at the same time on all the platforms. That way, everyone that's participating can see the finished quilt at the same time. Everyone gets emailed the directions at the same time. We want to make sure that everyone gets to enjoy the surprise and the reveal together. If we just took that last clue and posted in the mail to everyone, those that lived closest to us would get it before those that live furthest away. It's super fun to see other people posting the quilt and you not know what's going on. And so we like to make it as fun as possible. So we do a big live broadcast. It's usually about 45 minutes to an hour. We show the finished design. We show the finished quilt. And we've added in past recent reveals lots and lots and lots of special guest stars. And so I will be joined by Sheila Christensen. Sheila is the designer of all of our puzzle mystery quilts. She is actually going to be joining us via technology from New Zealand. And she always talks about kind of what was the inspiration for Carnival? Why do we call it Carnival? Why was this theme chosen? And she gets to show the first reveal, which is fantastic, and the first quilt. Then we have a lot of our ambassadors. And so we have a lot of ambassadors sewing Carnival with us, and we Zoom them in. They share tips and tricks and then show their finished quilt. So it's a great way to see other people putting together the new colorways, the different sizes, how they've chosen to finish their quilts, those that have added special borders. We are going to see some of our folks that work at Cotton Cuts that have completed the mystery. We're actually putting together a super special video featuring Robin. Robin is one of our longtime enthusiasts. She completed her sleigh ride mystery quilt. We put together a time-lapse video for putting all the pieces together on a design board and all the quilt coming together. And so the reveal is so much fun. We've got lots of surprises there as well. Definitely mark your calendar for April 26th at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. We'll be on Facebook. We will be on YouTube. We are not going to be on Instagram. There's a lot of technological challenges with that. And so we are going to stick with what works and make it clean. We will repost it after the fact on Instagram, but it will unfortunately not be live on Instagram for those of you that are watching us. Okay, sorry, I'm getting an infamous Paula is wrote a really long note on a board that I can barely see. Yeah, I don't know what that means. So we're gonna come back to that next week, guys. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. So definitely put the reveal on your calendar. And so I'm going to give you guys that are joining us today a super sneak peek of stuff that is coming. And so I can tell you that our next puzzle mystery quilt, the one that will start after Carnival, is going to be themed Wild West. And so that is the name of the design. That is the name of the quilt. If you guys know my team, we are already going down lots of rabbit holes for cowboys and cowgirls and outlaws and sheriffs and horses and cacti and all sorts of Western themes. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with Carnival. We had a lot of fun with Tree of Life. Wild West, you guys just, buckle up because we are all in on having a lot of fun with these mysteries. It's more than just the quilt, guys. It's all about all the stuff that comes around it. And my team is putting a lot of effort towards making sure that everyone has tons of fun doing this. Okay. I also have a note that we have a lot of Carnival whole quilts. So if during the live you see a whole quilt you like, definitely go to the website, grab it while you still can. So this week I interviewed this month's featured designer, Stephanie Sobing. So she is awesome. Stephanie, we talked for 45 minutes about her journey through the quilting industry and how she's come and gone and how she's starting a new chapter. And we are featuring her as our featured designer for Cotton Cuts. So every member of our classic and modern maker subscription gets a free pattern from Stephanie. She is offering tutorials for how to sew all of the patterns that we are featuring for her on our blog. So not only do you get the free pattern, you get a free tutorial on how to sew it together. Stephanie is awesome. She is a fantastic partner for Cotton Cuts, and we're a huge supporter of Quilt Addicts Anonymous for company. So if you want to get in on that, Modern Maker and Classic, you guys only have, I think, a couple days for Modern Maker and a couple days for Classic to get signed up. You are not going to want to miss out on that. Also, a quick reminder, Cotton Cuts Care's organization for this month is Sleep in Heavenly Peace. This is an organization that makes beds for kids that do not have them. They are a team of carpenters. They are a team of woodworkers. They make beds and they put them in homes where beds are not currently in place. And they're partnering with organizations like ours to help make quilts for these children, right? If they don't have beds, chances are they don't have linens. And so they're reaching out to quilters to help them put together a complete package for a donation to these children. I see a question, the third Thursday Zoom happening. Yes, the third Thursday Zoom is going to happen this month, and we are also going to have a sew in after the reveal. Diane, there's going to be a lot more about that coming soon. All right, so back to Sleep in Heavenly Peace. So $5 of every classic, modern maker, and Java will go to the organization to help them continue to build beds and to help continue to build, to help continue to support bedding for all of their children that receive their beds. All right, so why am I wearing this getup and not my, staple Cotton Cuts logoed shirt? So I am excited to talk about one of our latest, greatest, newest programs, the Floral States of America. And so this is a program I saw at Market. And I reached out to our partners at Andover, and they have been working with us to develop this block of the month using their latest collection, Floral States of America. And so the idea is that Andover released a different print featuring all 50 states and the flowers of that given state. These flowers are stinking cute, guys. They are adorable. It was too much to pass on. And so what our team here at Cotton Cuts has done is we've designed a block of the month program featuring the fabrics and also combining our ability to pre-cut fabric. And so what we are doing is starting June 1st, we are going to be shipping 5 blocks a month, 5 different states a month for 10 months. We're going to start with the first. We're actually going to put them out in order they became states. So we've got Delaware is number 1, guys. Delaware will be in the first group of 5 that comes out to you, and it is an 8 by 8 inch block. So they're not huge, they're not small, they're kind of good in the middle. So it's an 8 by 8 inch block. You will get 5 a month. Everything is pre-cut. It's all going to be triangles, squares, and strips. Everything will be pre-cut to you. You'll grab your Delaware block. You will sew it. It's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes a block, and then you'll be able to set it aside. Just like everything with Cotton Cuts, it's pre-cut, so you just sit, sew, and set it aside. And then in the next month, we'll send you 5 more states. And the next month, 5 more states. And at the end of the program, you will have all 50 states. And then my favorite part about this is we have designed 2 different layout options for the finished quilt. 50 blocks is a lot. Like, that is a lot of blocks. And I think if we didn't include finishing kit options, they might sit as 50 blocks for a long time. I know they would sit for me. And so when we designed how to lay them out, 50 is a hard number to put in like an even rows and columns. And so it was actually Lincoln, my history buff at home, who said, why don't we lay out the blocks like the American flag, Mom? I mean, it's got 50 stars in the corner. You're making 50 blocks. Why don't we lay them out like the American flag lays out the stars? And I'm like, well, okay, this is very obvious. Thank you. And so we have 2 different layouts. You get to choose when you sign up. Do you want it to be a grid where each block is in a row? Or do you want it to be on point? Every time I look at the on point, guys, I love it. It is just the block rotated, and it literally looks like the stars and the American flag, like Lincoln was thinking. And so with the program, you get the blocks, free shipping in the United States. If you prepay, it's free shipping all around the world. You get the finishing kit, you get to choose your layout. So why are we doing this? And I think when I saw the fabric, what really connected with me was when I was a kid, I would always love all the state samplers. Like all the okay, here's all your state birds, here's all your state flowers, here's all your state flags. I loved all that stuff as a kid. And it's been a long time since I've seen it really in the crafting space. And I was glad that a company like Andover is bringing it back. And I wanted to add to that. And so you guys know me, my kids are history buffs. In each of these blocks, we're going to include collectible statehood cards that are going to give fun tips and tricks and facts about each of these states, because why not, right? We might as well have the collectibles to go with it, and perhaps you can use those as flashcards with children. You guys, it's a lot of fun. And so we have the information page up on the website right now, cottoncuts.com Floral State. And what you are going to see on the site is more information about the program, the months and the size. But signups for this are going to open on May 2nd, so 3 weeks from today. And they're going to open at 7 a.m. So why are we doing it that way? We only have room for 300 people, guys, which sounds like a lot, but also not a lot. And so May 2nd at 7 a.m., signups are going to open to join the program. However, if you go to the website today, there is an early access link on the bottom. Everyone that signs up for that early access is going to be allowed to sign up a day early. So you won't have to set the alarm. You won't have to get up early. You won't have to worry about missing out. You can sign up a day early. Kind of fun, because that's what we do here. But go to the website now if you're interested in joining and you want to get in ahead of the rush. But guys, 300 is the limit. Unfortunately, this is not a reorderable fabric for Andover. They have one release and they are done. So once we get our 300, that's as many as can participate. And so I just want to be transparent with you guys on that. I don't want it to be hey, I got to the website at 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock and it was all sold out. Guys, if you want to get in on this, you have to be there at 7 a.m. I'm excited about this. I've seen the first half of the state blocks. They're really, really cute. If, for example, the idea of all 50 states is pretty daunting and you don't want to do all 50, then what we're going to do is sell each block individually. So say you want to come up with a quilt that's all the states your children live in, that's all the states where your grandkids currently are, that's all the states where you have lived. I could probably put together 8 blocks from all the places I've lived. If you want to do a smaller project like a handbag or a tote or a wall hanging, we will have individual blocks as they are released into our shop. So you can buy one at a time. We want to make sure that, if you want to do view and you want to do that, we will have extra blocks on the website for those that want to just do one state at a time. We are also going to be having a special panel quilt that Andover has designed. We're going to pre-cut it so you guys can sit and sew and have a panel quilt. It's the logo of the Floral States. So if say you like that and you want to just make a quilt top out of that, we will have those pre-cut and on the website as well. I think that's all the stuff about the program, guys. I see lots of people who like the idea of flower blocks. Now, I want to make sure that I am clear. So each block is not actually a flower. So it is using the flower print from that state, but it is going to be a traditional quilt block. So it'll be kind of a double star, it'll be a log cabin. There'll be different kind of blocks, but they will be using the floral fabric from that state. In an 8 by 8 inch square, to get each flower, we're in applique territory, we're in laser cutting, guys, and that's just something that I know there are people out there that can do that, but we're in the like straight piecing, no Y seams category. And so I want to make sure everyone understands that so that way everyone's expectations are met. Let's see here. I'm trying to read through the comments. Oh, it looks like some people are already entering for early access. That is fantastic. Hello to everybody. Yes, I love, we're doing a lot of America this year. And I know that for our folks that live abroad, that might be a little wonky. But it's one of these, we just, this is the opportunity that came, and so we're trying to do it. And perhaps you might have a friend in America that you can make a quilt and surprise them with. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of good comments in the feedback. Let's see here. Thank you guys so much for your support of all of our programs. This one's going to be lots of fun. This one's going to be quick and easy. Though it is 8 inch squares, I don't think there's going to be any going back once you sew them together with the pre-cut triangles and strips. All right, let me go to my paper. All right, so we're going to be giving away that classic box that I talked about at the beginning. So what I would love to ask everyone is tell us what are, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the question on the fly here because I've been kind of going with where everyone is going. All right, so tell us, give us a random fact about the state that you live in or have lived in the past that other people might not know. And so I will actually, I'm going to take St. Louis on this one, and I am going to share that St. Louis, more than any of the other places I've lived, has very strange food passions. So there's this thing called Provel cheese, which is really processed plastic that a lot of people here like. They put it on top of a flat crust pizza. There's toasted raviolis, and there's gooey butter cake, which is more butter and sugar than cake. These are all just kind of odd food things that they do in Missouri, but it's part of what makes St. Louis awesome and why a lot of people live here. So leave a comment wherever you're seeing this video, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. What is something about your state that a lot of people might not know that makes it special, interesting, or different? And be sure to head to Floral States and get on that early access list. You're not going to want to miss out on this one. All right, so last little reminders. The big reveal coming up April 25th, 2 o'clock. Cotton Cuts Cares, $5 of every purchase goes to our Sleep in Heavenly Peace organization. And that is it for me, guys. So I will see you next week, Thursday at 9:30 a.m., same time, same place. I hope everyone has a great week, and we will talk soon. Bye, everyone.